Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Adam Kiefer. I will be your digital literacy teacher. Let's get started. So, digital literacy. Well, let's talk about that word literacy. There's different types of literacy. The basic definition is learning to read, and then as you're learning to read, you can read to learn. So, literacy means the ability to read and understand something. There are different types of literacy: health literacy. Health literacy, if you are health literate, that would mean you could understand things like prescriptions, medicine instructions, insurance policies, health forms, etc. Financial literacy has to do with money, making a budget, banking, investing, sending money. If you're financially literate, you understand how to use money, how to save money, how to budget, and financial documents. But for our lessons, we'll be talking about digital literacy. That's understanding and use of computers, phones, tablets, apps, emails, web meetings, researching, reading documents online, banking online, all the stuff we do with our devices, our computers, our phones, our tablets. You can see some pictures there that help explain digital literacy. So, digital literacy. Let's get started with our first digital literacy lesson. Today we'll be talking about icons. Icons are all the things you see on your screen there, the little pictures that represent something. Those are icons. In English, there's actually 3 definitions of the word icon. We'll take a look at those real quick. So the first definition is an old definition. It means a religious painting or art of some kind of somebody important in religions. Icons are still used around the world, in Russia, in Greece, in Italy, in Ethiopia. So here's some paintings, Christian icon paintings. The second meaning is someone everybody knows for their cultural or artistic importance, or their image. So in the United States, here's 2 important icons that everybody knows. George Washington, the first president. He's also on our money. And Michael Jackson, singer, dancer, artist. You probably know their faces. Those are icons. But the icons we're going to talk about today, there's icons from around the world. Here's some other examples. Nelson Mandela, Ronaldo, Queen Elizabeth. So these are also icons. But these are the icons we're going to be talking about today. So symbol or graphic representation or a picture of something that you see on your screen. These are all icons. So icons are part of visual language. So we have language that we hear and we speak. But there's also visual language which is not spoken. And we see examples of it every day. So here's some examples of road signs. You can see a picture of a truck, a picture of people walking, a picture of a gas pump, a picture of a railroad crossing. So these are all part of visual language. Here's some examples from different countries of people crossing the street. We call them pedestrians. Pedestrians are people who are crossing the street. Every language and culture around the world uses visual language, and this is just one example of street signs from different countries. Visual language you might be most familiar with are emojis. These are fun to text and email with. These are called emojis. So visual language, it's words and images and shapes. They're all part of visual language, what we see and what we understand with our mind. Okay, let's talk about the first icon. Here's a picture of a woman working at her desk. On top of her desk is all her stuff, her papers, her computer, her printer, her pencils. This is her desktop. It's the same thing for a computer. When you look at the screen, where all your stuff is, where you start, that's your desktop. It's on your computer screen and it's on your phone too, your desktop. Okay, this is the home button. On some phones it's a button. On other phones it's a little icon that you click, like that square on the phone on the right, or sometimes it's a picture of a little house. This takes you back to your desktop. Browsers. Internet browsers. These are the most common internet browsers. They are on your devices already. To browse means to look for or look around. So when you use these to look at the internet, they're called browsers because you're looking around, you're looking for information. You are browsing, so they are called internet browsers or just browsers. Safari is the browser made by Apple. And then there are different companies that make other browsers. Chrome is made by Google, for example. Okay, let's talk about this icon. This is the search icon. Search means to look for something. It's based on a magnifying glass. You can see the picture of the boy looking at the flower through the magnifying glass. It's easier for him to see. So you can see that search icon everywhere. It means if you see that, you can look up something, you can look for something, you can type in some words and get more information. This icon is called the Waffle or App Launcher. When you see it and click on it, it will open a variety of apps or programs. It looks like a waffle. This is something many people eat for breakfast sometimes. You can see there the picture of the breakfast waffle in the middle of the screen. So there are other menus. This is all part of visual language. There's the waffle, the hamburger menu, the snowman menu, the shish kebab menu. I put pictures of what they are referring to on the left side there. But you can kind of see how they resemble those foods or the snowman with 3 circles on top of each other. So all these are kinds of menus. You can click them to access settings or apps or different things. So look for them on your screen. A menu, when you go to a restaurant, you look at the menu to see more information about what you want. Same thing on your devices. Those 3 lines or different lines are also menus. Here's several examples of different menu buttons. When you click on them, they will open a lot of options for you to see and change something or do something on your computer or phone or tablet. The share icon. Generally it's a little arrow, but different companies have different share buttons. These are some of the most common ones you can see right here. When you click a share button, it will give you a choice. What do you want to share? You want to email it, text, Twitter, Facebook, copy it, save it, add it as a bookmark. What do you want to do with it? It will give you that choice when you push that share button. Most of the time, it will give you the option to email it or text it or send a message in some way. But there are other options you can do too, especially when if you're on your phone. The next icon is for messages or texts. I think you know what those are. Texts are usually shorter. They go right to your phone and they alert people when they arrive. So these are some message or text icons. Email. Email is usually a little bit longer. You can attach larger files to an email, but people have to choose to open the email and read it. It doesn't automatically open for them on their phone most of the time. You have to take a look at the email. If you want to write something a little bit longer, it's usually in an email. But text and email are the ways that we send information to each other quickly. These are some common mail apps and icons. So these are the top 5 ways from 2017 that people in the United States use their phones. Number one way that you can see is messaging. Number 2 is phone calls. 3, email. 4, social network. 5, camera. 6, gaming. So you can see messaging and email are way at the top. So we use those all the time, and you need to know how to use those on your phone and your computer. Okay, if you want to have a discussion with someone about differences and similarities between texting and emailing, you can do that. But I'm going to move on right now. The App Store icon. This is where you can browse and download and buy apps. You can look at the reviews. You can look at more information before you download or buy them. Settings. This is a really important icon to know. It's based on the gear, which helps machines turn. These are gears over here on the left. And the setting icons all look very similar. They're all based on the gear. And this is where you can change, if you click on the settings, you can change all of the options and features on your device or phone or computer. These are some video and audio icons. These all mean play or start. Here's some other common ones from the left. We have pause, stop, play, forward. Sometimes we say fast forward, back, or sometimes we say rewind. So these are for anything you watch on video or audio, so listening or watching. You might be using Google Meet for this class, or with your kids, with their teachers for distance learning. So these are the icons. This is the chat icon, where you can type something in the Meet. Here's a picture of me in a Google Meet. There's the chat button. You can chat your message down there. You can see the message here. So you're watching what's happening on the screen, and then you're also reading and interacting with people on the chat. Volume. These are different volume icons. They look like this or this or this. And here's a volume icon that's up all the way. Here's one that's pretty low. There's different ones for headphones or your phone ringer, or on your computer you can turn things up and down. This is a sound bar or volume bar. You can move that dot, so down here would be quiet and over here would be loud. This one is at 100, so it's very loud. It's up all the way. Mute or muted. This is the icon for no sound, or your microphone is off. So it can look like this, or maybe like this. If your microphone is off, it will look like that in a web meeting or a Google Meet. These are the camera and microphone on-off icons. Your camera is on, it's off. You need to pay attention to that when you're in a Google Meet or any online meeting, so you can control what people see and hear. And you need to know how to end the call or end the meeting. It's just the red button, which is based on the phone handle that we used to have. You don't see these anymore, but it's a picture of a phone handle. Click the red one to end the meeting. Okay, real quick, quiz time. What is this called? A desktop. I gotta move fast. What are these? Emojis. What is literacy? Learning to read, then reading to learn. Are there different types? Yes, many. What type of literacy am I teaching you? Digital literacy. What are these? Internet browsers. What are these? The share button. What are these? Pause, stop, play, forward, and back. These icons, what do they mean? Mute. Are messages and emails the same? They're different, but they both offer good ways to send and communicate different things. What are these? These are all examples of icons. And lastly, what's my name? Adam Kiefer. What's my email? hubsadam@gmail.com. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day. I hope you learned something helpful. See you next time.